Welcome to the Airgun Show. This week I'm taking a look at the Zbroia Kozak semi-bullpup from Pellpax. But before that, I'm back out targeting farmyard rats with night vision gear. I'm back out ratting tonight, and I'm actually on the same farm as we featured on a ratting session just a few episodes back. Now, it was pretty productive back then, and I'm hoping that it's going to be even more productive tonight because we've had a bit of a cold spell, and that should have pushed more rats in off of the countryside and into the farm. I'm actually targeting almost exactly the same area as I did last time we were here. Now, the great thing about it is it offers me quite a wide arc of fire, but best of all, we're inside a barn, so we're in a nice sheltered area that will protect us from the elements, and we do need it this evening. It's pretty cold. One thing that has changed though is that they've now got even more pallets stored in here. So rats tend to love the cover of pallets. We shot a few from the pallets last time. I think now with even more cover, it should be a very productive area. The kit is also the same as I used last time. Now it's the ATN X-Sight 2 night vision unit. And the gun is the Brocock Bantam Sniper HR, which is a brilliant little gun. This one's 177, sub 12 foot-pounds. I did have the previous version, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, but this one genuinely is even better, and that is thanks in no small part to the Huma regulator that it has, which just makes for really, really consistent shooting. This is usually quite a noisy farm, and in fact there's been machinery clattering around just a few minutes before we settled down here. However, I don't want to make any more noise than I have to, so I'm going to try to shut up now. Hopefully a few rats will come out, we'll better get some shots. It usually takes a while for the rats to venture out after we've settled in, but they're used to a fair amount of disturbance on this farm, and it's not long before the first one creeps out in full view. Well, there's our first one. That one was about 14 metres away, which is absolutely perfect because that's the range that I have this setup zeroed for when I'm ratting. Really nice straightforward shot, great one to get started with. I much prefer an ambush like this to just wandering around and hoping to get a few shots. And when opportunities do crop up, you're in a great position to take full advantage of them. And there's another one. I have actually put out a few bait spots this evening of liquidised cat food. That one was well onto that one. About the same range as the last shot, so another really straightforward one off of the sticks. I was expecting this area to yield a few rats, and sure enough, it's producing a steady flow of action to keep me occupied. Here's one that thinks it's safe amongst the cover of the pallets. was another one in that new stack of pallets I was talking about at the start. A little bit closer, so I did give the shot a bit of holdover, which will probably be apparent in the footage that I've got through the night vision unit.
I keep on scanning through the darkness and, as expected, soon pick up another rat hiding in the heap of pallets.
That was another one from those pallets, and I did notice that there was another one scuttling around behind it, so I do reckon we're going to get a few from there.
This sort of shooting is all about getting your preparation right. Find the places where the rats are most active, put down a few bait spots, and the actual shooting should be pretty straightforward.
That one was amongst those pallets again. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking, because there do seem to be a lot of rats moving now. And there you go, that one was barely any time after the last one. Action's really picking up now, there seems to be quite a lot of rats about.
The stealth of night vision is making a big difference tonight. There are quite a few rats around, but they probably wouldn't be offering me shots like this if I was shining a lamp at them. Well, there we go again. Another two in very quick succession there. It really does prove the importance of having a quick and reliable loading mechanism on your gun when you're doing this kind of shooting. The rats really are having it. It's turning out to be a very good night. Yet another one from under those pallets. It is quite close, so again it needed a touch of holdover, but it really was lights out for that one. That was a slightly trickier one. It was slightly obscured and it was a little bit further away. so I gave it just a touch of hold under, but the pellet found its mark. Could also see that there was another rat there, so there are still a few about.
There's a lot less activity from the rats now, which is no great surprise after such a productive few hours. But it doesn't look as if tonight's shooting is finished just yet. There's another rat under one of the pallets, and it's busy lapping the blood from one of its dead mates.
That one was under those pallets again. It looked like it was lapping up the blood from one of the dead ones. Again, it's quite close there, a little bit of holdover, really good shot to the head. Now, it really has slowed down now. It's also getting freezing cold, so we're going to make that the last one of the night. But it has been a fantastic session. There have been quite a few rats around. The kit I've chosen to use, the stealth of night vision, the precision of this gun, it's enabled me to exploit those opportunities and make quite a decent tally. I just can't wait to come back for some more.
Night vision stealth proving its worth on skittish rats again there. And now, it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news. With barely over 2 months to go until the Northern Shooting Show, we've learned more about the big names that will be present. Air Arms, ASG, Brocock, BSA, Daystate, Gamo, Hatsan, Webley, Vyrauk and Zbroia are among the airgun brands set to exhibit at the show, as well as scopes, clothing, ammo and more. Plus there will be Try Before You Buy airgun ranges, a HFT championship, the Air Arms speed shoot and other live attractions. And don't forget that under 16s get free entry to the show. FAC airgunners could get a boost as the government has promised to sort out the firearms licensing system once and for all. In the latest Lord's debate on the Offensive Weapons Bill, the Minister for Defence said the government will bring in statutory licensing guidance this year, which means a potential end to the postcode lottery. Draft proposals will be published this summer ahead of a consultation. Airgunning could get a new influx of participation this year from game shooters. That's because BASC is encouraging game shooters to put the off-season to use by trying a different discipline or introducing a newcomer to shooting. And what better introduction to shooting than with an airgun? Chairman Peter Glenser said, if this is something you've never tried before, perhaps it is time to try something new. And finally, don't forget to give Airgun Shooter magazine a like on Facebook. As we went to broadcast, the magazine's Facebook page was just passing the 10,000 follower mark. On the page, you'll find articles, tips and kit insights from the writers behind the magazine. Hit the like button at facebook.com/airgunshootermagazine. That was the Airgun Show news.
Zbroia air rifles have made a real name for themselves since they arrived in the UK not so long ago. They combine solid build quality and accuracy with exceptional value for money. I've got a Hortesia of my own and can certainly vouch for its fantastic performance. This is the Kozak and it's available from Pellpax with prices starting at just £549.99. This little semi-bullpup is a very compact airgun. It actually comes in two size options and this is the smaller 330-180 which has a 330mm barrel and a 180cc cylinder. It weighs just a shade over 3 kilos without a scope fitted and measures about 70 centimetres. Those compact proportions make it a very pointable airgun that's well suited to shooting around the confines of farm buildings and in a hide, and it's also very easy to carry around the field. As semi-bullpups go, this is quite an elegant looking one, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to the lines of the thumbhole stock, which is a dedicated right-hander. It's made from ash and has a nice finish which isn't too shiny but still shows off plenty of grain. There's no checkering or stippling on the stock, but I haven't really noticed that compromises grip in any way. The fairly vertical pistol grip has a really nice palm swell to it, and the adjustable cheek piece is a very nice touch. Simply slacken off the locking screw and you can shift it up and down to improve eye alignment with the scope before locking it in your preferred position. This little airgun is built to an impressive standard, and not just for its price point. It appears to be very well engineered and solidly constructed. The black anodised finish of the metalwork is very neat and even, and also prevents it from flashing in bright sunlight. The Kozak is fitted with a Picatinny type scope rail, which is something you're going to need to be aware of when choosing mounts. The system provides fast and very secure attachment, and one thing I really like about this airgun's rail is the fact that it's nice and low to the barrel. So the gun doesn't feel too slab-sided and the scope doesn't feel like it's too high above the bore. As I mentioned earlier, this version has a 33cm barrel and it's housed inside an elegant, fairly slimline shroud. It's threaded to accept a silencer, but the shroud is actually fitted with baffles. I think it does an adequate job of hushing down the muzzle report, and I really wouldn't want to compromise this gun's compact proportions by fitting an external silencer. Power delivery is consistent, and I recorded a variation of just 5 feet per second over a string of 12 shots with pellets taken straight from the tin. Muzzle energy is about 11.3 foot-pounds, and after filling to 220 bar, the gun returned about 80 shots, which is more than enough for most hunting sessions. There's a pressure gauge at the front of the cylinder. It may not be the safest place to position it, but its readings do match exactly with the gauge on my air bottle. When it is time to refill, it's simply a matter of slackening off the collar at the front of the cylinder to expose the inlet and then plugging in the supplied quick fill adapter. You actually get 2 probes supplied with the gun, a screw fit one and one with a Foster connection. Cocking and loading is fast and slick, which makes for great quick fire plinking and swift follow-up shots in the field. It's driven by a side lever, which cocks the gun and indexes the magazine on the rearward stroke and then probes home the pellet on the forward stroke. It's a fantastic mechanism, and best of all, you can't double load it. That mechanism drives a 12-shot magazine in 177 and a 10-shot in 22. It's held in place by sprung ball bearings, and with the lever pulled all the way back, it pulls out from the right-hand side. It's a simple but very effective rotary design which appears to be very kind to pellets, and you get 2 supplied with the gun. The trigger on the test gun is surprisingly good. The blade is nicely designed and gives plenty of feel, and the action is great. It certainly outperforms my usual expectations for a relatively affordable semi-bullpup. The first stage is fairly short and light, but it comes to a distinct stop before the second stage breaks very crisply. There's a manual safety catch position just above the trigger. It may not look particularly sleek, but it's safely out of the way of the trigger blade and still quick and easy to access. The gun is safe when it's in the forward position, and then you nudge it back when you're ready to take the shot. That's a quick run through the Zbroia Kozak's main features. Let's get on and punch some paper so I can show you what it shoots like. Well, I can't fault that. That's a 5-shot group at 30 metres with the 177 caliber test gun. It's a very slight breeze blowing from my right to left today, and sure enough it has nudged that group just a little bit to the left, but looking at it through the scope, I think that's still probably a 10mm group from centre to centre. I'm certainly happy with that. To sum up, the Zbroia Kozak is a cracking little gun. It manages to cram a heck of a lot into its compact semi-bullpup configuration, and it certainly has the power and precision for live quarry shooting. It's also quite a nice looking little gun. It really is a very impressive performer, especially when you consider that it comes in at well under £600.
Look out for the new and improved Airgun Shooter magazine, packed full of technique, gear and insight from some of the best shooters in the industry. Brand new look and free video content. Pick up your copy today in stores or online.
That's all for this week, but we'll be back again in a fortnight. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership.